Hello guys, Chris here. Today we're gonna be talking about the Leica Q. This little guy here for street photography. Is it any good? Let's dive right into it. Okay, so I did some street photography with the Leica Q. I have had the chance to have it borrowed to me by a good friend of mine. His Instagram name is Tarakin. I'm gonna link it down below. Okay, first things first, Leica Q. When you think Leica, you think M9, M8, M240, M10? I mean, rangefinder cameras? But no, there's other things to Leica. And this is the perfect example. This guy is a little hybrid, meaning you have an amazing lens, you have an amazing body, an amazing technology, all combined, and you get this little guy here, which is awesome for street photography. First, I wasn't convinced. Maybe you guys are not either. I was personally a little bit, I don't know. For me, mirrorless, EVF, it's what I use on my Fuji cameras. And if I want to shoot rangefinder style, I take my M9. However, the Leica Q, after I've tested it a little bit in Bern this weekend, I can tell you it's an amazing camera. So I'm gonna be posting now some photos and throughout the video. These photos are unedited, I did not touch them up at all. They just came out straight out of the SD card, into the computer, into the video for you. There you go. In terms of speed, the autofocus of this camera is actually great, even though you cannot change the lens. The focal length 28mm is actually pretty cool because, I mean, if you need to crop afterwards, you can just do so. But otherwise, 28mm is actually great for street photography. I was a little bit concerned because I usually shoot with 35mm, but 28 is actually totally fine. So not to worry, it's gonna be totally fine. In terms of grip, you have this little bump over here, which is basically a thumb rest, which helps get a firm grip of the camera without adding any bulk to it, and it actually is pretty enjoyable. I mean, you can just hold it in the hand and it doesn't go anywhere, so that's great. Now, in terms of overall functions, there is an EVF, which is basically you can either shoot looking at the LCD screen or you can shoot looking at the EVF. The EVF is very high resolution. I don't remember, I think it's 2.4 million dots. I'm not actually sure right now, but maybe I'm just shooting the shit. Anyhow, you can go check on their website, but it's a high definition screen. The autofocus, as I was saying, it's spot on. Manual focus, so you can go in manual by just flipping this little guy here, you push it and then you go like a normal rangefinder camera, and the manual focus works pretty well actually. It's actually neat. You have a macro function which completes the package. Up here you just flip this little wheel and off you go. In terms of noise, because we're talking street photography, it's actually a beauty and it's a pleasure to shoot street photography with such a little compact camera. Here is the sound of the shutter. There you go. So not much to complain about that one. If you compare that to the M9, which is already very loud, but there you go. So that's the two extremes, if you will. And otherwise, quality-wise, the photos are Leica feel. I don't really see a difference between this and the M10 because the sensor is CMOS, it's not CCD anymore like the M9 used to be. So it's pretty much the same quality as we're used to seeing nowadays with Leica. And to be honest, this camera could go for a wedding, could go for street photography, could go for portrait. I did some nice cute portraits of my son. Obviously it's not an 85mm that you have on it, so, and the more you zoom, you have 3 different focal lengths. The more you zoom, the more you lose megapixels. Basically what this camera does, it's simply, it basically crops into the pictures. Like if you go from 28 to 35, for example, it's gonna crop that much and you're gonna lose megapixels. So it's already cropping. So you're better off just shooting 28mm and then cropping afterwards in post. There you go. So overall, I advise you to get this camera if you like to do street photography. I advise you to get this camera if you want something compact that can give you amazing quality shots while being small enough to transport it with you, because nowadays, I mean, we have the iPhone, we have, you know, all those different types of medium. But if you want to take photos that you will be able to do posters with, you will be able to keep, to share, to have like high quality and definition pictures, this is actually amazing. So go for it. If you're not into the rangefinder style type of cameras, this is great. This is like an in-between, and it works just great. Here you go, guys. So this is my review. I hope it helped you. I hope seeing some pictures helped you to decide to either get it or not. If you don't want to get something as expensive as this guy, now there's the Leica Q2 that came out, but still, you can go with Fuji. There's the X Pro 3 that came out, or that is coming out now. That's a beauty of a camera also. So I let you judge. Maybe if you have a chance, if you can, just get your hands on it. Go try it out. Go in the streets. Take some shots and let me know in the comments what you think. Do you have the Leica Q? I'm curious to know. So, if you did not subscribe yet to my channel, please do. I will be rolling out some new videos in the coming weeks. Like, share, comment, subscribe, like always. You know the drill, and I see you in the next one. Take care. Cheers.